Hello, everyone. This is Maureen, and welcome to another day of learning how to pray through the darkness. Now, our topic for this morning is rest. Isn't that a wonderful sounding four-letter word? Rest. And many times that we forget that it is so easy to rest in the comforting arms of God's love and peace. So that's what our topic is for today. Now, my topic comes from this wonderful little book that I chose for this year's devotional journey entitled 365 Days of Praying Through Depression and Anxiety. Now, there's a link for you down in the description box where I purchased it from Amazon, so be sure and go and check it out if you like to have your own copy. Now, our verse that goes along with this idea of rest is hopefully one that you are familiar with. It comes from Matthew 11:28, and these are Jesus's exact words. Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. Isn't that wonderful? He's not only talking about our physical body being weary and burdened, he's talking about our spirit, our soul, our essence, what makes who we are. So let's see what it is that the prayer that's offered up with this verse, and then we'll have a little discussion afterwards. God, when I find myself overextended and exhausted, the worries of life spill over from one day to the next, adding layer upon layer until I feel like I can't take another step. You invite me to come to you and lay down my heavy burdens. You are able to give me the rest that I long for, all because of you. And you will do all the heavy lifting for me once I lay my head on you. I don't want to hesitate to approach you with all that I have and to burden you with it. You are full of kindness, not a lecture that I dread. Your gentleness surprises me as I offer you my heaviness and my burdens. You fill me with light and life. Help me to find rest in you today. Kind Father, I come to you today with all the heaviness I've been carrying. I can't keep going this way. Lift my burdens and fill me with the peace that gives true rest to my soul. I need you and I love you. You know, I know you're going to know exactly where I'm going with this. It is so hard to say no, isn't it? It really is, especially with family. It is so hard to say no. And when I mean saying the no, I'm not saying no, you can't have that piece of candy, or you have to wait until after dessert, after supper to have those cookies. I'm saying when family says, "Can you come and do this for me?" Or "Do you mind if?" There's just so many times that we take on extra responsibilities or extra chores or extra whatever simply because we don't like using the word no. We don't want to disappoint our loved ones. We want to show that we are strong, and yes, we can take on one more thing. It's just human nature, especially with mothers. Now, I'm not saying you daddies out there don't have the same problem. I'm not. But I know that many of you can relate with me because you are mamas. You are women. Um, so it just becomes hard to say no. And before you know it, we have so much on our plate that for many of us, we break that platter that we've been carrying around. I mean, it just gets too heavy. And then, quite literally, we have set ourselves up for not only disappointing others, but disappointing ourselves. And then you know what that leads to. That leads to us beating ourselves up, saying we're not good enough, saying, "Why did you even think you could do that? Look at the mess you've created." So I believe that in finding that rest that we so often ask God for, we should also be asking Him for the strength to say no. Ask for the strength to realize you just can't take on the world. And here's another thing. When we don't learn to say no, we are not only opening ourselves up for disappointment, but for those that we said yes to. And we know that. We've done it over and over and over again, haven't we? I mean, and when you look at it, it's more us than anything else. We have to learn to say no. We have to learn to set boundaries. We have to look at, quite honestly, our limitations. And I'm talking about our physical. I am not talking about our spiritual, because there are no limits there. As long as we rest in the assurance that God is with us, that we are never alone, we are unstoppable. But our physical body, folks, just many times cannot take the overload of the task that we are willing to take on. So, in looking for that rest and calling upon God to help you to breathe for a few moments, take the burden away so that you have some space, so that you can reconnect with what it is that you want to do, what it is that you know you're physically able to do, and then just let go of the rest. And it's okay, you know what? Even if you have said yes to something, to take a deep breath and let that person know, I thought that I could do this, but I am sorry. I am not going to be able to. I know you're going to be disappointed in me, but I I just can't do it. And you know what? Yeah, they might be a little disappointed and they might be a little put out at first, but wouldn't you rather that they know that even though you may have tried or thought that you had the time or the capability, that you were willing to admit that you can't? And you know what? I think for us, that not only does it relieve the pressure for us, but think about it from the flip side, from being the person that's being told that, no, I can't do it, or I thought I could, but it's just becoming too much for me and I can't. You know what? In my mind, that shows compassion for me as the receiver of your information, and it also moves you up a little bit higher on the respect gauge for me. Because rather than struggling through and becoming burdened with it, maybe you have to put other things aside, so therefore others are disappointed. I would much rather that you come to me and say, I thought I could, but I can't. And I'll tell you something else too. When you start telling people no, look at it this way as well. You gain respect from them because you are showing them, not because you don't want to do it, but because you know your limitations. So when you are having your talk with God today, ask for strength from Him to learn to use the word no, to not overburden yourself to the point where you're just exhausted, not only physically, emotionally, but spiritually as well. Now, you know that God is going to take you, cuddle you in His arms until you gain the strength that you need again. But He wants to help you to learn to say no. He wants to help you to recognize that, yes, we all have limitations, not spiritually, but physically. So give yourself the time and the space that you need to rest. And then take a moment and look at all of those things on your to-do list and really, really scrutinize. Can I do this? If I can't, then let it go. Okay? Because your health, your spiritual health, is more important than anything else in the world. I want to say thank you so much for being here, each and every one of you. I am so happy that you come back each and every day for these little devotionals of encouragement in knowing that there is light at the end of the tunnel, that there is someone waiting there to lead you out, that there is that mountain that you can see as you're walking through the valley of the darkness, the shadows. There is the mountaintop. There is a hand waiting there to guide you through and bring you back up out of the clouds. So please be sure and hit that like button. If you're not a subscriber, hit that subscribe button as well, and be sure you turn on that bell with the little hugs on the side, because it'll notify you every time I upload content, especially these devotionals of praying through the darkness. So until the next time, please remember that when the doubts start to fill you, that you are loved, you are cherished, and God says that. Remember, guys, I love you as well. Until tomorrow, bye.